All right, man, let's get into this show. The draft is around the corner. April 25th, the NFL draft begins. You guys know that for me, I cover the Cowboys, been a Cowboy. So the Cowboys have their 30 visits. Now, the 30 visits, let me make an understanding. Let me make a distinction. 30 visits and the Dallas Day are two separate situations. Dallas Day is when the Cowboys get to invite those players who have Texas high school roots. So no matter where they play college football at, any part of the country they play college football at, if they have Texas high school roots, if they played at Allen, if they played at DeSoto, if they played at Plano East or Plano West or Plano Senior or Louisville, whatever the Texas school is, and there's a parameter around where you can do it in the DFWA. When Dallas has its Dallas Day, it's for Dallas DFW athletes who have high school ties. So that's separate. They had that the other day. That's done and that's finished. The 30 visits are guys who are draft eligible from anywhere. You get 30 of them. You don't have to use 30 of them, but what you get a chance to do is, of course, there's the combine. And the combine, when you meet with those players, you're on the clock. You don't have all night and all day to meet with these players. You got to get these players in. You got to get these players out. But when you bring them in for your 30 visit, they can be here for 2 days, 3 days, 2 days. You can wine and dine them. You can spend as much time with them as necessary. If you want to spend 5 hours, 6 hours a day, if you want to have coaches spend. Now, this is something that I'm broken down with scouts and with coaches and front office people may meet them in a brief setting. But they have their 30 visits set. Again, you don't have to use all of them, and I want to give credit on I got this list from Nick Harris over at DallasCowboys.com. And Nick did a great job with listing this thing out. Just want to list some names off to you to see kind of where the Cowboys are headed. And if you watch their 30 visit is very intentional. These are the guys that are probably going in day one, day two. But their list is very intentional. There's a theme to what they're looking for improving on their football team. And if you're looking at Mike McCarthy, if you're looking at the Joneses, you got to come to the conclusion that they aren't going to be a free agent heavy team. You got to remember, Mike McCarthy, when he was in Green Bay, his whole organizational plan was draft, develop. He wasn't one that got a lot of chance to pick his players. It was a kind of a different system there. So he is accustomed to drafting and developing players. That was the model that he was under in Green Bay for all of those years. And, and Steven and Jerry kind of have that old school model as well, where they're not looking to go out and grab a bunch of free agent talent. They're not looking to bring in guys that aren't from. They're looking to draft and develop. And they've done some good areas in that, and they've had some not good areas in that. But that is the approach. The approach is that they want to draft and develop. So here are some of the names. You got Fuga from Oregon State, the offensive tackle. Trey Benson, the running back from Florida State. Bucky Irvin, the other running back from Oregon. Jackson Power Johnson, the center from Oregon. Tell you, we got your guys on here. Edrin Cooper from A&M. Gig'em. Talking about Gig'em's out there. Who we got? We got Traven Wallace, linebacker from Kentucky. Jonathan Brooks. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Jonathan Brooks might be a Cowboy next year. I know he had the ACL injury. He got his surgery done by Dr. Cooper, who is the team doctor for the Cowboys. That also was recommended by former Dallas Cowboy running back, current Texas Longhorn running back coach, Tashard Choice. When he was looking at doing the surgery, he said, go to Dr. Cooper. That's what he did my knee surgery. So there's some ties in there. So they'll do some more medical checks when they have the 30 visit with Jonathan Brooks. Running back Braylon Allen from Wisconsin, offensive lineman Graham Barton from Duke, Darius Robinson, defensive end from Missouri, linebacker Junior Colson from Michigan. I don't know, stay away from Michigan, guys. That's just me. Offensive tackle Mac Conclaves from Pittsburgh, Nathaniel Watson, Mississippi State linebacker, Jonathan McGee, Temple Peyton Wilson, linebacker from NC State. That's another one that's really looking like the Cowboys like him a lot. Defensive tackle from Texas. Byron Murphy's from Texas, right? Murphy? From Dallas too, right. They have him on here. Another running back, Rasheen Ali, and your boy Sweat. Sweat's coming in. Sweat's coming in too. So this is very, very much so what the Cowboys are looking at as far as offensive lineman, running back, linebacker, defensive tackle. Like those are the four spots that they're looking at right now to not only add a first round pick to, but a lot of their other round picks there, because you just can't go with one of those guys. You got to go and get you a couple of those guys. And this is the year for the offensive linemen to be, because tackles, centers, guards, there's a bunch of them out there. So the Cowboys will really be looking to fill in some of those spots. And I know a lot of people like, go out and draft. Go out and sign guys as free. That's not their style. They're not doing that. That's not what they want to do. And, I'm not the draft guy. I don't get into draft stuff. That's not my wheelhouse. Now, what I get into is once they draft the guys, once they bring the guys in, once the guys are on the football team, that's when I start breaking guys. I don't have the time, energy, or knowledge or effort or want to go and look at guys like my guy Brian Broaddus and Jeff Kavanaugh and other guys like that who watch hundreds and hundreds of guys on tape. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you or try to talk to you about what prospects I think and what. Now, when the guy gets drafted by this team, when the guy signs with this team, that's when I'll break film down. That's when I'll go and show you how I think they fit, what are their skill sets, how does it work in this team. I ain't watching 100 guys. I'm telling you that right now. I ain't watching 100 guys. I'm not. I'm not picking up film from a guy who is at Valdosta State. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to look at the Holy Cross Center. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to look at the receiver from Grambling State. No, I'm not. That's just not. There are far enough guys out there and on YouTube that will give you that content. If you're looking for that on Unfiltered with Jesse Holley, this is not the channel for you. This is the trust and believe you me. Now, when the season gets here, I'm going to break these boys down. I'm going to break team down. I'm going to break the Cowboys down. I ain't doing that draft stuff. But those are some of the names that will be coming into town this Thursday for the 30 visit for the Cowboys. And so shout out to Nick Harris for that list.